You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days fans. It is Melinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got a very special November Sweeps prediction edition. Tomorrow, of course, is November 1st, so it's the perfect time to look ahead at the rest of the month. As always, I use confirmed spoilers, soap history, and recent action in the storylines as the basis for all my predictions. This one is a little different from my weekly prediction edition because I'm casting a wider net to look at storylines a little further down the road. I did this video as a fan request, and as always, remember, I read your comments, and you guys definitely inspire some of my videos, so keep those comments coming. All right, let's dig in. But first, if you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our Days of Our Lives updates. So the first prediction, Melinda finds a baby for Sloan and Eric, but guess what? It's Nicole's kid. So spoilers for the week of November 6th on Days say that Melinda Trask finds a baby for Sloan Petersen and Eric Brady. What I'm not clear on is whether she finds a baby and then things fall through, or if this baby that she quote unquote finds is indeed the one from the car crash, because it seems a little too soon for that, but maybe the car crash is next week. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out our video that covered the Day of Days promo, because they are replaying almost the exact storyline of when Sarah Horton had her car crash and went into labor on the side of the road and her baby died. Only in this case, Nicole's baby doesn't die, but Dimitri von Leuschner delivers the kid into Sloan and Melinda's hands. And of course, you know, Eric Brady has no idea it's Nicole's baby that they are supposedly adopting. And in fact, it's his baby, his biological child that he's adopting, ironically. This is all about to get so very messy, especially considering the fact that the truth is sitting in the DiMera safe and all EJ has to do is open that envelope. All right, my second prediction, EJ finds out the truth, but wants to keep the baby, but then it's too late. So speaking of EJ, who I mentioned in the last prediction, there's a bit in the Day of Days promo that inspired this next prediction. When Nicole is involved in the car crash, she looks like she's driving in a distraught state with tears in her eyes. And I do think that the other car in the accident is probably Dimitri and Leo, who are on the run. So I wonder if Nicole is fresh off an argument with EJ. I definitely think he's going to open that envelope after all, maybe sooner rather than later. You know, he and Nicole just got married and he wants them to have their happily ever after, but finding out she is carrying Eric's child could be a deal breaker. Of course, confronted by EJ, Nicole will deny knowing it because she didn't, but I imagine EJ would accuse her of altering the paternity test that she showed him before. And let's be real, that is absolutely something Nicole could have done in the past, but she will be completely blindsided if he shows her that report. I do suspect that EJ would want to keep that baby because he's gotten attached to the idea of them having a child together, and he won't want Nicole and Eric to get back together. You know, depending on the timing and the order of all these events, if EJ finds out first, maybe he suggests they keep this information between them and just raise this child because Eric is with Sloan and they've, you know, are planning to adopt, all that good stuff. So when EJ shows up at the roadside crash, where Nicole is still lying on the ground having just given birth, it's clear he's furious and demands to know, where is my son? So I don't know if he opens the safe before or after the crash, but I feel certain he is going to look in that envelope very soon. And of course, we know that Sloan messed up. She left the wrong envelope and she shredded the one with the faked report. So I do think it's going to be a while longer before the baby theft is exposed, because we know that the kid lives for a while with Eric and Sloan as they've adopted a baby. But the net is widening on all the people who know about this, because it'll be Melinda and Sloan and Leo and Dimitri. And that's a whole lot of people to keep a secret. So it won't last too long, and it might come out during a power play or in the case of blackmail or something else sketchy. My third prediction, Everett Lynch's insane coma story is true and Stephanie Johnson is tempted. So Everett just told Stephanie that the reason he disappeared from her life was because he was in a coma. He said his wallet was destroyed and no one knew to contact her, and he was in a coma all this time. I mean, maybe he came out of the coma and married Jada. There's some questions about the timeline. Anyway, I expect Stephanie might check out his backstory. She can always ask her dad, of course, Steve Johnson, to look into it to see if Everett is lying to her. Strangely, I don't think that he is lying. A lot of people think that during those missing years, he married Jada. I personally feel like he was married to Jada before he met Stephanie, but of course, it'll all come out in time. You know, if Evan's crazy story pans out, then Everett, I don't know why I said Evan. If Everett's crazy story pans out, then it may be hard for Stephanie to stay mad at him, and it may be harder for her to stay with Chad, who's clearly not ready to commit to her. Even if she finds out Everett was married before, you know, that's not a deal breaker because Chad was too. And his dead wife is definitely casting a shadow on their relationship. There's a scene from the Day of Days promo showing Stephanie out with Everett. It looks like they might actually be out on a date and they're looking happy. So that's a sign to me that his bizarre coma story checks out. But let's be real. That's not really something unusual when we're talking about Salem, where the dead come back to life all the time. All right, my fourth prediction, Gabby is arrested for Li Shin's murder. This week, Gabby heads over to talk to Li Shin, her ex-husband, because she wants his vote when she and her new husband, Stefan, move to take over DiMera Enterprises. Already, Li is in a very bad place with his mental health, as we just saw in his session with Dr. Marlena Evans. Next week's spoilers look very, very bad for Gabby. Of course, we know that Camila Banus is due to exit soon because she wrapped filming at the end of April, so her character could be gone literally any day now. In the Day of Days promo, Stefan finds her with a bloody butcher knife in her hand, crouching over Li's dead body, where there's a stabby wound in his back. That's not a good look. On Tuesday, November 7th, official spoilers say Rafe demands answers from his sister Gabby. Then on Thursday, November 9th, Rafe shares news of Gabby's fate. So I wonder if he gave her the chance to escape and run off. I don't know. I suspect next week could be the end of Gabby, and November sweeps is what ushers her out of Salem. I mean, we knew it was any day now, but we may get a different Gabby back later. NBC Daytime put out this casting call with a character description that matches the character to a T. But the casting call went out at least a month after Camila Banus wrapped her filming. So that says to me there's going to be a gap with no Gabby. And then maybe if they did find somebody, we get a new Gabby back. Of course, we'll see. My fifth and final November sweeps prediction. Belle Black leaves to regroup with her daughter in South Africa, and maybe she winds up going to check on Sean too. So speaking of actresses that are leaving very soon, Martha Madison is also due to exit any day now because she wrapped filming at Days of Our Lives about the same time that Camila Banus did. They were both part of that alleged dust up with now fired Albert Alar, where 7 actresses were impacted. Belle Black's husband, Sean Brady, left town a couple of weeks ago. He was the one male actor affected by that whole thing. And he went to get treatment for his alcohol issues at an outpatient rehab facility near his sister, Sierra Brady, and his mom, Hope Brady, who are both staying near where Bo Brady is convalescing still in a coma. If you recall, Belle offered to go with Sean, and he said, no, I need to get my act together before I can think about our relationship. So I don't expect that Belle follows him to wherever he is, at least not directly. Instead, I think she might go see their daughter, Claire Brady, who is living in South Africa now. And from there, you know, we may hear she and Sean decided to reconcile and stay wherever it is that Hope and Bo and Sierra and Ben are all staying. We do know that Martha Madison's time is up as Belle Black, and she's another that should exit in November sweeps. That's everything I have for this special prediction edition. Drop your comments below on these days, November sweeps thoughts of mine. Click subscribe if you haven't already, and definitely come back soon to talk days with me. I read all your comments. Like I said, a lot of times you guys inspire my videos. So please, if you have thoughts, if you have ideas where you think storylines are going, let's talk about them right here. We're like friends talking soaps over coffee. Come back soon for more on Days with me right here. This has been Melinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast. because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.